Okay, Morai v'Rabotai, Achai v'Re'ai. The point of really today's shiur, I know we started a new clip, but the point was really, I know you for sure came, I think for that, at least, this was, of course, was Shovavim. Hanukkah just finished. You have to leave?
Not me.
You have to leave?
Not really, continue.
That's right. Hanukkah just finished. And we spoke last time that Hanukkah has all the lights, all the orot of Ab, Sag, Ma, and Ben. Right? All the lights of the four worlds that we have some connection to. And in these orot, in this light, we have to understand, now we come to the big test, to the big avodah, the big job. And what's that? Shovavim. And this year we have Shovavim Tat.
9.
Huh?
10. 8. 9.
Shovavim Tat. What's Shovavim Tat? Teruma and Tetzaveh. Teruma Tetzaveh. Tetzaveh. Shovavim, Tat. There's an extra 2 weeks this year because we are in a leap year, and this means that this year is even more powerful. So how many weeks do we have?
7. 7 weeks. 8.
8. It's always 8. 8 is me'ala teva. It's
beyond nature.
Above nature. But why is this important? You know, Shovavim starts at the week of Shemot. The new book, the second book. But before we get to Shovavim, right in between Chanukah and Shovavim, is the ending of the story of who?
Yosef HaTzadik.
Yosef. Please sit down. Please stay here. Please stay. Back, hold it in. Stay here. Shovavim is Yosef.
Right.
Why is this important? Yosef is what? Is the Yisod.
Foundation.
What is the Yisod?
Breathe. Torah. Breathe.
Is the foundation. The foundation is the Brit. What Brit? Lashon, the tongue, and the erva, which is the private spot. These are the Brits. Oh, who cares? You know, this year we decided to talk about Shovavim more in advance. I never spoke about Shovavim actually. I never thought it's proper for me to talk about the Yisod. Because I think people take it very jokey and lightly, and they don't really.
Yisod means what?
They don't. Yisod, I just said, it means your Brit. And your Brit means two things. There's Brit HaLashon.
What does that mean? Not cursing?
The tongue.
Not cursing?
Your tongue is considered a Yisod.
But like, that means like not cursing?
It means anything to do with improper language. Improper use of mouth.
We all curse. Straight up.
And there is the erva. The erva is a private spot.
I heard when you...
I heard.
No.
I heard also a lot of things, but let me speak. Let me speak today, please. I have very little time. I want to put in as much as I could in this little time. Let's go fast through the story of Yosef, and like this we'll understand really what is the avodah of Shovavim. Yosef HaTzadik was born to his mother, which was Rachel Imenu. Rachel Imenu was considered the most favorite of the wives of Yaakov Avinu. In the beginning of Yosef's life, it was fantastic. His first 17 years of his life,
Comfortable.
Johnny Dede, as they would say. The father's love. You got everything, Yosef. Everything. To the point that he even got spoiled. You see what spoiled kids will have to go through at the end of their life? What did he get? Nice fancy jomeh.
God.
Fancy, colorful. Not black like the Hasidim wear, but colorful like the Bukharis used to wear. I just threw that in, it's a joke. Colorful, nice, beautiful. Until what happens? All these characters play a very big role, and we will discuss it throughout the weeks. Yosef was told by his father to go find your brothers. And there are 4 main brothers that play a big role. Reuben, Shimon, Levi, and Yehuda. Reuben said, throw in the pit. Why? Because if we throw him in the pit, later I can save him. But nevertheless, what did he say? To throw him in?
The pit.
It's very important. Shimon and Levi says,
Really?
wow, why to waste time? Shacht him and call it a day,
I don't
right?
think he was chosen.
They would have been clipped. But it was pure reason. It was pure
Kill him! And Yehuda said,
reason.
Jonah Bazan Pool. Money! Kesef is a have.
Did they dead have one?
Did I ask you? Money! And what happened to Yosef Misken? Where did he go? He went to Misraim. Let's understand really what's going on here. How old was he? 17. At the age, usually, a person at the age of 16, 17 gets introduced to Zer Lavatala in a more open way.
What does that mean?
A deeper meaning.
He starts to talk to girls more. Before it was less of a Ditzkisat kind of girls, more now it's serious, let's hang out, let's do shtuyot, so on and so forth. And you're in the pit. You don't really know, is it good, is it not good? You don't really care at that age. We gotta be honest here. Your care of doing the sin, it's not there. Why? Kaif, ya kaifu, Rabbi. I'm enjoying. Why do I have to care? Until you get to a certain point, you say, I can't. I'm depressed with my life, Rabbi. I did so many shtuyot. And you reach the point that you even want to kill yourself. To the point you think you're not getting married because of it. You're not making money because of it. Your life has no mazal because of it. Everything you blame in your life as a ravak, as a single person, what do you blame it on? And the breed. It's amazing. Until you get to Yehuda. And what's Yehuda? Money.
A lion.
Yeah. Right now means money. Why? Because Yehuda sold his brother Yosef. What is that soul? Rabotai, for 1 second, don't think once you get married, you're free from this sin.
I know, it's hard.
Can you please just be quiet? I beg you. I beg you.
Hard.
Thank you. Man, all the comments you want to say it in your head. I love it. Now letting me talk!
Oh.
Don't think for a second when you get married you're not going to have the test of doing Zera Lavatala. Don't think for a second you're not going to have a test to be with other women. Don't be for a second you're not going to have a test to sleep with your wife when she's in Nida. Don't for a second have any of these thoughts because it's going to happen. It's a reality of life. What does that do with Yehuda? Sometimes we're willing to sell ourselves to the Yetzer Hara. And where do we end up? In Mitzrayim. The worst of the worst. The biggest pit. What happened to him? Let's look at the story. Yosef ended up in his master's house. For 1 year he lived luxurious. You just get married, first year of marriage, everything is bye. Everyone's happy, you're always available, she's always available, you're enjoying the life, habibi, the doors are always open, and they say. And then for 12 years, where does Yosef HaTzadik end up? In the ma'atzar, as they say, right? Ma'asar, in jail. After those 12 years, Yosef HaTzadik has a salvation and he becomes the head of Paro's house. About that, this is our life. The Yisod is so important for our success to the point that everything and anyone that is under us, that means we have to really, really understand what this means. Let's say someone's a father or a husband, his wife, his son, his daughter. If he's a teacher, his students, his grandkids, and so on and so forth. Anytime he does a sin, you know who gets affected? Everyone under him. Every single person under him gets affected. Why? Because even though you're affecting your Yisod, klapei, that means against them, you're not necessarily their Yisod, but you are in a higher level than that. For example, for your wife, you're considered Abba, and she's considered Ima. These are very high terminologies, and hopefully throughout the weeks I'll explain. For your kids, you are Zun, which is also really like an Abba figure. And for your students, you are their Yisod, and they are the Malchut. Anything you do makes a trickle effect on the people under you. So what? Now I cannot progress in my life because the people on top of me are sinners? Or now let me blame everyone that I have in my life because my mazal is not good because of them, right? Because I'm under them, it has to be something's wrong. Let's get to this week's parasha. You see, we don't understand how the Torah talks to us because we only learn Pshat. We don't learn the depth of the Torah. Yosef HaTzadik becomes Tahor V'Kadosh, and who comes to him? 10 of his brothers. and all 10 of his brothers bow down to him. He said, it's not enough. Bring me the 11th. So 11 come. And they all bow down to him. And here comes this week's parasha. The fight between Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben David, which comes from Yehuda. This week's parasha.
They're beefing?
They're beefing. They always beef. Sfaradim Ashkenazim don't beef. We don't even know why we beef.
Who's Mashiach ben David? He's Ashkenaz?
The Haidah says the Sfaradim come from Yehuda and the Ashkenazim come from Binyamin.
But then we assimilate.
Whatever the case is. I just told you what the Haidah says. But you ask any Hasidic guy to tell you they have a Yichus to David HaMelech. You know, the same way how Eliyahu Navi said in his time that if you look at the Kohanim in the Beit HaMikdash, he said only one out of these thousands of Kohanim is an actual Kohen.
No way.
Yeah,
How's all of them allowed in there?
Can you imagine what that? Who said this?
Eliyahu.
Eliyahu Navi said this. He said, you know, show which one? The one that's Sholoch half alive, like he's walking. He's really from. He's the son of the great grandson of Aaron HaKohen. Everyone else is all full-fledged. Okay? Understand?
Like the fake Kohanim?
They're not fake. You know, everyone wants to be a Kohen. You get money, this, that. You don't.
Are they even allowed in the
There's
Beit
a lot of
HaMikdash?
people on today, right?
No, but whatever. I don't know. When Mashiach comes, he'll tell us everything.
Wow.
Who's Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben David? Everyone has this inside of them. Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben David are two huge elements in our life. That we need to do achdut. And what is that? Our chokhmah and our bina. What's a chokhmah and what's a bina, Rabbi? You lost me. There are three major levels of intellect. Chokhmah means the inkling of an idea, and bina means trying to develop that idea. You know what the problem is with most of us? Either we have the chokhmah or we have the bina. Majority of us don't have both. And why is this important? It's okay if you don't have it. It all depends on your shorsh neshama. That's why friends are very important. So is a wife, and so on and so forth. You have to know how to unify your chokhmah and bina. For example, is your internet filtered or not? Don't answer. Is the workplace that you work a place that's kosher enough that you wouldn't mind your own son working? Don't answer. Is the surrounding of people that I'm around only talking about znut, which means relation and sexuality all day, or not? Don't answer. All these things play in effect how your chokhmah and bina gets developed. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. That's not for no reason. Think about that. Okay. So what's the salvation, Rabbi? You know what the salvation is? Yaakov Avinu. What happens when Yaakov and Yosef meet this week's parasha? They start crying on each other.
They look identical, right?
They looked very similar. But Yaakov Avinu said Shema, and Yosef was crying. In other words, not to see your father for 22 years. Now some of you say, Halavai, I never see him, but that's not the point over here. What is the Shema that he was saying?
You literally said Shema Yisrael.
Oh, so he was the first one.
Where are you going?
Said these things? Wait, so he was the first one that ever said that verse?
That's what it says in the Farshim. Shh, listen. I'm gonna now give you a secret to Tikkun Zer Levatala right now. We're gonna, throughout the weeks, we're gonna throw a lot of different tidbits for everybody. There is a certain mitzvah that everyone holds very lightly of. Kriyat Shema al Hamita. Kriyat Shema al Hamita, saying Shema Yisrael before we go to sleep. Rabbi Isai, it takes literally 15 seconds. Kriyat Shema al Hamita is extremely important. Why was Yaakov saying Shema? He was actually saying, I'm unifying with my Yisod. I'm unifying, which is the Tiferet, which we'll talk about, not today. I'm unifying myself with what? With my Yisod, which is Yosef HaTzadik. In order to start, you said you want to start fasting, right? Everyone says this nice stuff. You don't need that right now. You know what you need? You say Kriyat Shema Hamita every night?
Yes.
Every single night.
Every single night.
What is that? Just saying Shema Baruch and Go?
No, yeah, this is every bonus or not. How many more times is that?
It saves the kids a Shema
Please
Kriya.
forgive me.
You were doing well until now. Kriyat Shema Hamita, yes, there's a vidui, there's a I'm sorry, and all this stuff before. The Rashash brings down. Again, I'm not usually the one that likes to talk Kabbalah, but I see a lot of what I tell you is like baby Kabbalah. What I've been learning when I was 5 years old. My father had been teaching me. But slowly, I see people actually like it, so we're actually going to get into it right now. The Rashash brings down, which they say is the Gilgul of the Ari. That if a person says Kriyat Shema al Hamita with a kavanah, he can literally kill
120.
so many mazikin, so many evil inclinations that he created in his lifetime. It's mind-boggling. How do we do it? Now, I'm not going to teach you the kavanah because I'm a realist. You're not going to do it. You're not going to even know what to do. I want to tell you the pshat. Even in Kabbalah, there's pshat. When you say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, right? Which just in that can take you 35 to 40 minutes. Before you say Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed, right? There's two parts. You have to have in mind and envision in your hand. You have a sword, and that sword is double-edged. Cherev Pifiot Beyadam, we say, right? We say that Hallelujah when? And Kriyat Shema Hamita. We also say it when? And Shacharit. Why do we say that Hallelujah at night? Just because of that pasuk. V'cherev Pifiot Beyadam, and a double-edged sword in their hand. In whose hand?
Shishim Geboim, no?
In your hand, yes.
Shlomo's.
But in your hand. Why? Because you have to imagine right when you say Echad, after you do the kavanah of Arba Mitot Beidin, and then Rappach, and then again Arba Mitot Beidin, and you're thinking you're Ma'ale, and so on and so forth, and you're going down, you're doing the Yichud, and all that you do. You have to have it in your brain, you have to actually physically imagine that you're holding a sword, and you're actually chopping off heads of Mazikin. This is not a fairy tale, Rabbi Isai. What your brain, the power of your brain is so strong, it's unbelievable. The power of your machshava is beyond understanding. You at that time can destroy millions if you're zocheh. You have to picture in your brain that you're just slicing their heads off. And then you say Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed, and you say Va'ahavta. This is the first tidbit I'm going to give you for Shovavim. But you can never run away from this sin. You can't, but you can help yourself.
What do you mean by never run away?
You can never run away from the urge of having intimate relationships. You're a man. Hashem created you with a nefesh habehemit, with an animalistic body. And that animalistic body has certain urges. And one of those urges is to be physically intimate with another being. That physical, intimate level that you have, which is normal, I want you guys to understand something. That's why you're men. Do not think for a second. I always tell this to some of my kids in my yeshiva. I say, Baruch Hashem, you tell me you have these problems. If not, I would think you're a little bit rainbow. You have these urges. You're supposed to have it. If not, you would never get married. Right? First of all, since you guys are not married, Kriyat Shema L'mita. Second, your goal and your focus right now has to be finding a shidduch. Your grandparents' time is over. You're not running away. You're not in Sayuz anymore. You're not. You don't need to have millions of dollars in your bank account. No, just get married. The younger she is, the better it is. Why? I'll tell you why.
Moldy.
There's a saying in Bukharian: while the girl's eyes are closed, you marry her. Why do they say this? Because less expectations. And it's so true. I'm telling you, the older I get, the more I realize the sayings of our grandfathers were so emet la'amita. They're so true. And I'm not primitive. If you're a girl that's over a certain age, change your ideology. There's a reason why you're still single. As young as possible you can find, get married. Just don't waste time. Don't date for so many months. Don't go. Why? For what? Who are you impressing? You're just making a hole in your pocket. It's so dumb. It's ridiculous. Boundaries. Okay, this is for another shiur. Number 1, find a shidduch. Number 2, Kriyat Shema L'mita. Every single night. Chok velo ya'avor. Shabbat. Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, always. Even, you know when? Even if you're staying up the whole night. Before Chatzot Laila, very important, before midnight.
Oh, you have to say it before midnight?
Before midnight, you say Kriyat Shema L'mita. Even if you're not going to go to sleep because you're not doing Hamapil, you're not saying the bracha, so you can say Kriyat Shema. Understand? It's a separate mitzvah on its own.
Before Chatzot was to say?
You should say it before Chatzot Laila. And if you missed it, still say it after.
So we're not saying it like actually when we're in bed?
If you go to bed, I barely, I don't remember the last time that I went to sleep before Chatzot Laila.
What time is that?
So when do you say it? Before Chatzot?
Now it's like 11:40ish, right?
So when you say during Arvit, you're good, no?
No, that's Shema of Arvit. And then there's Shema of Kriyat Shema L'mita.
So say Shema 3 times a day, no?
I say it 4 times a day because there's twice in Shacharit.
What?
Korbanot. In Korbanot, there's 1 too. We're not going to get into it right
When it
now.
comes to night, you say right before you go to sleep or before Chatzot?
Before Chatzot.
So you don't have to say it when you go to sleep?
You say it again, lightly, without the kavanah. Shema Yisrael Hashem K'nei Hashem Echad.
But I thought like
Not with the Ribbon Shalom again? I don't have to do that?
If you didn't say that before, say it.
No, you said it before Chatzot.
Okay, good. Very good.
Then you don't have to do it again?
What if you take a nap?
At night,
In the middle of the day, so that's 3 to 5.
middle of the day, it's something else.
Specific, because I ain't taking a nap. in the middle.
Okay, you can say Shema, but it's not something that you have to be makpid on. I don't remember the last time I took a nap during the day either. You talking to me about luxury right now. You know what I'm talking about? How someone once told me, if someone's depressed in this generation, they have too much time. Being depressed is a luxury.
Being depressed is a good thing?
Is a luxury.
How?
How do you have time to be even depressed? Like, how do you have time for that? How do you have time just to sit and cry about all your garbage? My life sucks. It sucks because you're crying. Get up and do something.
Go learn, go work.
You know what I mean? Being depressed is a luxury. It is. It's a 24th century luxury.
Pretty cool.
It's not cool, it's reality.
It's funny.
You understand? So let's start with this. Yaakov Avinu, when he sees Yosef, which is the Tiferet, which is Torah, which we'll talk about too. You have to make sure to understand that Yosef HaTzadik, the big story of Yosef, why didn't the Torah expand on the story of Reuven so much? Or Dan and Naphtali? Levi, Kohanim. How come we know nothing about Levi? Absolutely nothing. Because Levi is not important right now. What's important is Yosef, your Yisod. You want to fix it? Got to get married. Someone called me, he said, Rabbi, I don't know, I don't drive yet, I don't know if I should get married, I don't know if I should go out, I don't know if I should that. Someone told me I have to do a 40-day challenge, an 80-day challenge. Do you do 40-day challenge not to break your Yisod? No, right? So then what challenge are you giving me nonsense right now? Do challenges all you want.
Why the number 40? I don't understand.
Do whatever you want, because 40 is like a chazakah that you won't do it again. Whatever the case is, right? Get married. Yalla, don't waste time. All these, I was thinking about all these lectures of, she's normal, she's breathing, she's working, you're working, you have same biology. Next, weiter. Oh, I could find better. You'll never get married.
Whatever happens if you're, what you believe, what you think your religious, like the way you conduct your life, can be more like, sure, you want to work. Like if a person's like going to minyanim or he's not learning, would you tell that person to get married?
What does that have to do with you getting married?
Because you're not doing what you're supposed to.
What does that have to do with you getting married?
Oh, so you're saying we should get married and not do any of that?
I never said that.
That's what I'm asking.
I said one has nothing to do with the other. The guy doesn't go to minyan, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is it going to make a difference if he's married or not? He's not going to minyan because of he's not going to minyan. I didn't put on tefillin today. That means I shouldn't wear tzitzis or I shouldn't keep kosher.
Oh, I see. That's what I
No,
said.
no. I didn't put on tefillin. I'm not keeping kosher no more because I didn't put on tefillin. What's the connection?
Shouldn't you want to work on that before you get married?
If you're not working on it right now, you're never going to work on it.
No, that's what I'm
Work
saying.
on it together. Don't say, once I finish this, then I'll do this. It doesn't go that way, Habibi. You say that to yourself before Chas Shalom, not you, but do people say that before they do sin?
Or say what?
Before they do Izeh Lavatala? I didn't finish doing this so until I come back. Who says that, right? Like, be realistic. Be logical. I know every Rebbe wants you to be tahor v'kadosh. Let's hit reality. The reality is that you're a man. And you're in your prime ages. You're hot. You're hot. You're hotter than the sun. And you need to do something called Priya or Via. And you don't want to do it Be'isur. You want to do it Beheter. And the only way to do it Beheter is to get married.
Yeah, you can't just tell anyone, yeah, get married at 20 if they're not doing like, if they're not doing anything what they're supposed to do, what God wants us to do, you just get married like that.
Elamai, guys should do some sort of ishtadlut. I'm not telling you, you're not a couch potato. But usually most human beings, when they reach that point of, wow, I need to get married, they start to get their things together. I never yet met a man
100%.
that just said, okay, I'm just going to get married. Yeah, who's going to look at you? With that mentality, where are you even going? So your question doesn't even begin. Understand? So I'm going to finish with this. I really had so much more to say. It's so many different details. He's excited to leave because they have to go eat or go gym or party. So sit back down. I didn't finish. So I just I wanna finish with this. Sit back down. I wanna finish with this. Fast recap. Shema Yisrael, Kriyat Shema Al-Mitah, extremely important. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Number 2, very, very important. Very important. Try to get married ASAP. ASAP. I'm not telling you this because you getting married now, physically I have no benefit. No benefit. So why am I pushing it so much? Because it's for your benefit. You want to grow properly with a girl, the younger you are, the more proper you're going to be with her. The older you are, the more you're establishing your roots. It's gonna be hard for you to change. You don't want to live with a roommate. You want to live with a spouse. I promise this to you. You don't want a roommate. You want a spouse. That means even the arguments that you have in your house shouldn't be on selfishness. It should be what is the right thing for the family. That's where you have to get to. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen.